Ever wonder why your beautifully crafted web pages are invisible on Google? You've poured your heart into creating perfect content, but nothing seems to stick. The culprit might be something you've completely overlooked: a broken sitemap. Today, we're going to dive deep into this common but critical issue. We'll diagnose the problems, fix them step by step, and get your website ready to dominate SEO in 2025. Stick around, because this is the guide you need to finally get your pages indexed and ranking. So, what exactly is a sitemap? Think of it as a roadmap of your website, specifically designed for search engines like Google. It's a file that lists all the important pages on your site, telling search engines which ones to crawl and index. It's like handing a delivery driver a clear, organized list of addresses instead of letting them wander around the neighborhood hoping to find the right house. A well-structured sitemap ensures that search engines can discover all your valuable content quickly and efficiently, especially new pages or deep pages that might not be easily found through standard crawling. Now, why is this so crucial? Especially as we look towards 2025. The world of SEO is changing at lightning speed. We're not just dealing with simple keyword searches anymore. Modern search is powered by AI, driven by voice commands, and heavily focused on understanding user intent. AI-driven search engines are smarter than ever. They want to understand the context and relationships between your pages. A clean sitemap helps them do just that, giving them a clear blueprint of your site's structure. Then there's VoiceSearch. People are asking their devices questions like, "Hey Google, what's the best way to fix a sitemap?" A well-organized site, clearly outlined in your sitemap, helps search engines pull direct answers from your pages, making you the go-to source for these voice queries. Finally, user intent is king. Search engines want to serve content that perfectly matches what the user is looking for. Your sitemap helps demonstrate the thematic structure of your website, showing Google that you are an authority on specific topics and can satisfy user needs. Without a functioning sitemap, you're essentially trying to compete in a futuristic race with a horse and buggy. It's just not going to work. Let's get into the nitty-gritty. What breaks a sitemap? One of the most common issues is including broken URLs. These are links to pages that no longer exist and return a 400 for not found error, or pages that have server issues and return a 500 error. When Google's crawlers follow your sitemap and hit these dead ends, it wastes their crawl budget, the amount of time they allocate to crawling your site. It also sends a signal that your website is poorly maintained, which can negatively impact your rankings. Imagine giving someone a map where half the roads lead to a cliff. They're not going to trust your directions again, right? It's the same for search engines. Another major problem is duplicate or non-canonical URLs. This happens when multiple URLs point to the same or very similar content. For example, you might have versions of a page with and without www or with different tracking parameters. This confuses search engines. They don't know which version is the main one to index and rank. This can split your SEO value, or link juice, across multiple pages, weakening the authority of the original page. Your sitemap should only contain the primary, or canonical, URL for each piece of content. This tells Google, "Hey, this is the master copy. Ignore the others." Next up are large sitemaps and XML errors. Most search engines have a limit on sitemap file size, usually 50 megabytes, and the number of URLs they can contain. Finally, a sneaky but common issue is a conflict with your robots.txt file or noindex tags. The robots.txt file is a set of instructions for search engine crawlers, telling them which parts of your site they are allowed or not allowed to access. If your sitemap includes URLs that you've blocked in your robots.txt file, you're sending contradictory signals. It's like inviting someone to a party but locking the front door. Similarly, if a page has a noindex tag in its HTML, it's explicitly telling search engines not to include it in their index. Including such a page in your sitemap is confusing and inefficient. You're telling Google to look at a page, only for the page itself to tell Google to go away. Okay, so we've identified the problems. How do we fix them? Your first and most powerful tool is Google Search Console. It's completely free and absolutely essential for any website owner. Once you've verified your site, you can submit your sitemap directly under the Sitemap section. Search Console will then process it and give you a detailed report. It will tell you if the sitemap was successfully processed, how many URLs were discovered, and most importantly, it will flag any errors it finds. It will literally tell you, "This URL is blocked by robots.txt," or "We found a 404 error on this page." Bing Webmaster Tools offers similar functionality and is also a great resource to use. Don't just rely on one. Using both gives you a more complete picture of how search engines see your site. Now, what if your sitemap is too large? The solution is to create a sitemap index file. Instead of one giant sitemap with 100,000 URLs, you can split it into smaller, more manageable sitemaps. For example, you could have one sitemap for your blog posts, one for your product pages, and one for your main site pages. Then, you create a sitemap index file, which is basically a sitemap of your sitemaps. It lists the locations of all your individual sitemap files. You submit only this single index file to Google Search Console, and it will crawl all the linked sitemaps. This keeps things organized, makes debugging easier, and helps search engines process your site more efficiently. Let's talk about those duplicate content issues. The key here is to only include canonical URLs in your sitemap. The canonical tag is a snippet of HTML code that tells search engines which version of a URL you want to be considered the main one. Before you add a URL to your sitemap, you need to be sure it's the canonical version. For every piece of content that might be accessible through multiple URLs, pick one as the primary and use the canonical tag on all the other versions to point back to it. This consolidates your ranking signals and tells Google exactly which page to show in search results. Clean, simple, and incredibly effective. And here's a crucial habit to build. Your sitemap is not a set it and forget it tool. It needs to be a living document. Every time you add a new page or a new blog post to your website, you should update your sitemap immediately. Many content management systems like WordPress can do this automatically with plugins like Yoast, SEO, or Rank Math. If you're managing your sitemap manually, you need to make this a part of your publishing checklist. A fresh sitemap signals to Google that your site has new content, prompting it to crawl and index it faster. This is how you get your new articles and pages showing up in search results in days, not weeks. So, we fixed the technical foundation. What's next for dominating SEO in 2025? It all comes back to aligning with modern search trends. Remember, your sitemap is just the map. The content is the destination. First, focus on high-quality content that is deeply aligned with user intent. Don't just stuff keywords. Think about the questions your audience is asking and create comprehensive, valuable content that provides the best possible answers. Optimize for AI-driven search. This means using structured data, also known as schema markup. Structured data is a standardized format for providing information about a page and classifying its content. For example, you can use schema to tell Google that a page is a recipe, a product review, or an article. This helps AI understand your content on a deeper level, which can lead to rich results in search, like star ratings or FAQ. Also, structure your content to directly answer questions. Use clear headings and provide concise answers early in the text. Finally, optimize for voice search. This is all about using natural conversational language. Think about how people actually talk when they ask a question. They don't speak in keywords, they ask full questions. Frame your headings and content around these conversational queries. Creating a dedicated FAQ page that directly answers common questions about your topic is a fantastic strategy for capturing voice search traffic. And of course, none of this matters if your user experience is poor. Ensure your site loads quickly, is fully mobile-friendly, and is easy to navigate. A good user experience is a powerful ranking signal. So, let's recap. We've learned that a broken sitemap can make your website invisible to Google, no matter how great your content is. The key issues are broken links, duplicate URLs, oversized files, and conflicts with your robots. The fix starts with using Google Search Console to diagnose these problems. We then solve them by splitting large sitemaps, using only canonical URLs, and keeping our sitemap constantly updated. To truly get ahead in 2025, we need to pair our technical fixes with a modern content strategy focused on user intent, AI readiness through structured data, and voice search optimization. Your action item for today is to go audit your sitemap, log into Google Search Console, check for errors, and see what you can improve. Don't let a simple technical issue hold your website back from its true potential. If you found this guide helpful and are ready to boost your SEO, do me a huge favor and hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next video. And if you have any questions at all about your sitemap, drop them in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer every single one. Let's get your website ranking together. Thanks for watching.